All right. Well, Coach, another good win, 50-point performance for your offense. What kinds of things were you happy with, and what kinds of things would you like to correct this week in practice from Saturday's game?
Yeah, I was very happy with the way our team came out and played fast right away. I was very happy with the way, senior night, there was a lot of emotion in the night, and that can go both ways, where the emotion takes over, to where guys start to play outside of themselves and not play within the scheme. And to be able to come out right away, score on your first drive, to get some holds, I thought we played a good first half. I think second half, we begin to kind of give up some drives that we're gonna correct. But to be able to continue to answer the bell with every one of those scores that Southern Oregon scored was good for us. And then special teams wise, I was happy with our punting performance coming off of last week. To be able to correct that was outstanding. And so there's some things special teams wise we're going to continue to work on, and there's some things offense and defense wise that we're always working on, and just really trying to sharpen up our fundamentals.
Just talk about that playoff atmosphere and what it felt like last week, and then what type of game you expect this week.
Yeah. Well, I said it last week, and I stand by it. And if you're there that night, you realize this is one of the best football atmospheres in the whole Western region. And when homecoming happens at Azusa Pacific, it was so loud you couldn't even hear yourself on the field, and it was just great. So I really appreciate the fans for the noise they made and the great support. All the alumni out there that came back, it was great seeing their families and now the kids that they have. So a real special night. Playoff wise, we know every week's a season, and we know that this week particularly is hey, all your chips are in. This is it. This is now. We've been going at this thing since the beginning of August, and then not to mention all the summer workouts that our players committed themselves to doing, and then all the way back to January, all the weight room work, and all the spring ball. So it's quite an experience. It's quite a journey to get to this point, and now to have one game left that really has its playoff implications for us. It means a lot, and then. The fact that too is Menlo's a very good NAI independent team, so we're also an independent. So it's gonna be a great matchup, and Menlo has their own senior night coming up this weekend too. So we know they'll be full of emotion, full of purpose, full of vision for their own accomplishments that happen that night. And so we're expecting a great game come Saturday that we need to prepare ourselves for.
All right, Coach, now going on the road, another NAA independent. What do you expect out of Menlo this week, their senior night?
Yeah, well, they do a very good job employing their 3-4 defense. So they've shown that they can change up, play some man schemes, play some zone schemes well in their secondary. I think offensive line-wise, you see a team that has very intended on being a pound-em type of style team. They'll line up with two fullbacks in the backfield, a full line. So they love to be able to try to run the ball with some power, but then they like to open some things up as well in the passing game. So they're a group who has shown that they have their own resiliency. They have their own swagger to themselves, and so to be able to go on the road like they did a few weeks back to play Weber National, who we know is a very good team, and come out with a victory shows that hey, it's a good football team. So what we need to do for ourselves is to really commit to the film study time it takes, to commit to figuring out how they want to accomplish how they play football, and then what we need to do is also recommit to ourselves to say let's refine our great techniques and fundamentals of football as well. So where I'm very happy for the chance to play another game, because this is a special senior class. It's a special team, period. From top down, this is a great group of guys, and you want to be able to keep playing football with them.
And going to that senior night last week, and then did it kind of hit you that it's winding down? You've talked about in the past with this group of guys. Just talk about you have one week left with them for sure. Just talk about what it means going out with them.
Yeah, you got one shot, and so this is it, and so I'm going to take everything in. I'm going to challenge them to take every moment in this week. Nothing's guaranteed at all, and a few years from now, you're going to remember this team for the people who are in it, and which are some great people. And the way this thing works is that people graduate, people move on, and lives keep going, and our vectors of life continue to go off in different directions. And so I want to be able to look back personally as a head coach, personally as a coach period in this industry, to say that I gave my very best to my players, and I also took in all that there was to take in with the relationships, and enjoy the game too. And so we constantly remind them to enjoy the game. You're playing college football. It's a rare opportunity that hey, money just can't buy it, and it's special. So I'm just going to soak it in as we work really hard to get ready for Menlo.
And we'll talk about one of those seniors. John Vandenrot became the career completions record holder Saturday.
Yeah.
And really had a great first half. Was over 60% passing in the first half. How encouraging was that as you get to the end of the season to see that offensive balance that you've been really trying to get going?
Well, that is when we talk about all the way back to week one, what you wanted to see, and that was the passing game. I know we can run the football. I know with our offensive line, with our running backs, with John, we can run the football. We have got to be able to show that we can pass the ball too, and so we've been working on that consistently every single week. And for a guy like John to take that big step the way he did, it's only fitting that he is putting together, which is, I personally believe, just an all NAI offensive player type of performance this year. So, and that's what I'm excited for him for. And the thing about John, he's focused on just this game. He's not focused on records. So, we've had players here in the past who are checking their stats and how that maybe sets them apart from their peers. But John doesn't really care about that at all. All he cares about, did my team win? Did I help them win? And what can I do this week to help this team continue to win? And when you're around people like that, it's infectious. When you're around people like that, it's enjoyable. The narcissistic attitude that really corrupts a lot of what's good about the game is not found within this group. And so that's what makes it quite just a real enjoyable time for me.
Mm-hmm. Does the playoff experience this group got last year, does that help as they've gotten down into the stretch this year? Had some really important games.
It absolutely does, and I know our seniors have reminded the group, and the juniors, those who were on the team last year, have reminded the group constantly that this is that you do not take anything for granted. That the level of football when you enter the playoffs, number one, to get in there, it takes great focus. Once you get in there, we're talking about 16 teams that are just veteran. Tough-nosed groups that you're going to get yourself into a four-quarter backyard brawl, and that the most fundamentally sound team will most likely come out with the victory. Everybody has the matchups, everybody has the athletes, and so you're going to have to be prepared for everything. And so I think our team has had a real appreciation for that learning experience, and now the way we practice has a real extreme focus. The way we encourage each other also to continue to grow is just been outstanding for what we need to and what we want to accomplish.